Hello everyone, my name is Seun Olufemi and today I'll be talking about one of the major things I did during my OLS 9, uh, Open Seats 9 mentorship program. So which is that will be building a critical mass of bioinformaticians in Nigeria, and we'll be using the open science principles to achieve this. So bioinformatics is not slim. It is a large field of open science which aims to manage and analyze biological data experiments. And this field is rapidly growing. Majorly what bioinformatics does is that it allows us analyze biological data so that we could infer from those data to promote public health decisions and others. So interestingly, as this wave of science is rapidly moving, not much have been achieved in Nigeria. So it's so saddened because Nigeria is 1/5 of African population, and over 60% of this population are actually less than the age of 5. So in order for us to actually know if this problem actually is actually if actually this problem actually means a lot, we decided to run a survey across different institutions to know what is the root cause of the problem and ways by which um, we could mitigate or reduce this problem. So we discovered that to access bioinformatics support and resources in Nigeria is quite difficult, and a lot of people we prefer that they have more workshops, more online courses, and one-on-one trainings in order to, to bolster their knowledge around this particular bioinformatics, to bolster their knowledge around bioinformatics. So in response to this, we decided to organize open science for bioinformatics training for bioinformaticians and data skill enthusiasts. And what this training is meant is that is to introduce people on how they could do bioinformatics in a more open way. And this particularly is particularly is what we intend is to ensure that bioinformaticians learn to use open science for them to be able to learn and gather more resources to themselves, and they'll be able to do imply open science best practices in their work. So interestingly, we have about 230 people applied. We're only able to train 48 people. We have 7 speakers and instructors. Interestingly, we still have about 184 people which are yet to be trained. So in a way to promote open science, we decided to create community resources during these workshops, which includes GitHub documentation, Zenodo for files, and Blogspot trying to record the aftermath and all, in and to so that's to ensure that post these events, people could also have access to resources and others who are moving ahead with that. We're moving ahead with their journey in bioinformatics. So after we conducted the workshop, we decided to assess the impact of the workshop and post the workshop. And essentially what happens, what we saw is that we discovered that the workshop was quite good, but there have been quite a lot of, we also discovered that there are quite a lot of parts to ensure that there is continuity. There's a lot of requests that actually make us realize that we need to have more continuity in this part. So from that, we begin to think that what should we do? How best can we do this to achieve this? Since we cannot always be available to give all the trainings all the time, point people to all the resources all the time and do that. So this actually made us to think about creating a community of practice of bioinformaticians, which we actually imbibe open science principles in their work. So we got into the open seat, and in the open seat, we are saddled with a major responsibility. That is, we are to be able to document our processes and to create some community resources which would facilitate the development of community of practice for a critical mass of bioinformaticians in Nigeria. So there about we focused on so many of the documentations, but during this presentation, I'll be highlighting some of the what we do. We create an open canvas and we develop an open canvas. An open canvas essentially is for us to be able to highlight our unique value proposition, who's going to be what's our problem, what are the solutions we're highlighting, the user profiles, the resources, and who should be able to contribute and join our community. Then we also talked about licensing. So licensing is that most of the resources will be getting from our training. How do we want people to use and reuse them? So we developed, we adapted a CC by 4 license, which means that people could actually use our license while giving us the necessary attributions to us. Use our work while necessarily giving attributions to us. Then we also talked about, we also developed a code of conduct, which is to guide the acceptable ways by which members of our community should be able to work and interact with each other, and in case of their specific violations in this, and who should they be able to report to. So after the open seat, after development of this of all these documentations and more, which are quite available on our GitHub page, which we have the link at the end. What's next for Biohen, Bioinformatics Outreach Nigeria? So after the open seat, we hope that these particular resources will help us deliver impact programs, such as us going for the second iteration of the open science. We also hope that it would help us develop more impactful programs, such as the deep dive program, in which we aim to create a kind of a topic-based discussion and to support people through experiential learning. So we have expert faculties and expert professionals trying to co-mentor people in the low income resource setting. And we also aim to also develop a follow-up training on GitHub for more community members. So just in case you'd like to get in touch with us, we'll see most of our work on our GitHub page, and you can follow us on social media and connect with us via email. So we're using this period to appreciate the open seats and catalysts supporting this, and our mentors, Dr. Malvika, Dr. Tajudi, also my team members. Thank you so much for listening to me.